everyone. Welcome to our Donkeys and Dragons video chat, where we spend about 15 minutes chatting about a specific topic. Our guest today is Johanna Rothman. She's known for many things, including the Pragmatic Manager. She's an international speaker, consultant, author of 21 or more books, not sure on the exact count. She's also known for her work in managing product development, but has had such a big influence in many aspects of modern software development, including quality and testing. Lisa did a little bit of digging and she noticed that she and Johanna have over 1,000 mutual connections on LinkedIn. I felt a little left out because I only have 882 in common, but we all go back a long ways, at least 20 years. Hello, I'm Janet Gregory from sunny Mexico.
Hi, I'm Lisa Christman here in Vermont.
And I'm Johanna Rothman, escaping the winter cold in Florida.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Johanna, you've written so many books, including fiction, which is totally cool. And you're well known as a keynote speaker, a giver of tutorials, organizer of conferences, so many things. What inspired you to write this book about public speaking that you're going to be working on?
So I realize that many of my fiction writing friends have cannot find their audiences. And when I talk to consultants, that I have a talk coming up in February, March, something like that, right? Not this month, next month. They almost everyone who's a consultant says, "How do you find leads? Should I pay somebody to get me referrals and leads?" And I said, "No, no, 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 don't do that." I mean, if you have not done any content marketing, you might have to, but it's nobody can sell yourself the way you can. And all three of us have been writing and speaking for many, many years. And that's how we have found our clients. And especially as a solo writer or solo consultant, we don't need a lot of clients. We just need a couple every year, maybe three or four, depending on how you do it. I always had much shorter engagements, so I wanted a few more clients, but um, I didn't need 20 clients at a time. I only needed two or three, and I had them for a few months. Then they would go away. I would go away. A year or so later, they would call me up again, and I would get to solve another different problem. And and all of that is due to my content marketing, right? So you talked about my speaking and my workshopping, right? The tutorials. I've been writing my blog on managing product development since 2003.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then all the books, right? So people sometimes buy workshops from people who write books. I think you've seen that in your careers. And sometimes it's just a talk that really resonates with the right people. So I wanted to write this book for my fellow writers of all stripes and consultants because finding your ideal audience is how you become successful.
Yeah, and
Very true.
and and finding your audience is a tough thing. I know I always people said, "So how do you get your clients?" And I said, "Well, a lot of it was word of mouth, but it starts somewhere, and really it is selling yourself, but being out there. So public speaking is an important thing, I think. And trust me, I was not a public speaker. I think Lisa had to drag me kicking and screaming to the stage.
Well, you certainly
Yeah.
outpaced me in that department, so.
So we were also intrigued by your idea to do a Kickstarter for your new book. What kind of gave you that idea, and what was the motivation behind that?
So I had been trying to figure out how to find my ideal audience and have them come to me first to buy my books. So for example, I have I have two audiobooks up on ACX. Um, but I sell 40 or 50 of them every month. I sell a lot of audiobooks. I
Wow.
get about 45 cents for each book, maybe 50. I mean, the terms at Audible are so bad, and Audible puts DRM on top of the books. And DRM is digital rights management. I don't do DRM for any of my books. I trust my readers. I mean, if they really want to loan a book, there are always ways to hijack the DRM. And since we mostly sell the technical people, well, the three of us, um, that we're our readers are very smart. They will figure out what to do. So I don't want to add DRM to my books, but Audible does that. And so I wanted to find a new audience for my mailing list. Well, I have three mailing lists because
Yeah.
one is never enough. And and I wanted to experiment with a Kickstarter for nonfiction. I've seen many, many Kickstarters for fiction, and I backed many of them. My name is Johanna. I like to read. And um, I was wondering, can I kind of duplicate that success with my Kickstarter? And the answer is yes. I mean, it's not life-changing money, but I found it funded right away, and then I got a project we love from Kickstarter, which is, I think, not really normal for your first Kickstarter. And then I have, yeah, there are many people I had that I already know who bought the books. But then there are several people I do not. So now I am sort of in the Kickstarter, um, um, what's the word I want? Community.
Transfer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. And that means that the next time I run a Kickstarter, I already have people who will follow me, which is the point. So if you want to do direct selling, yeah, having a store is good, and I have a store with my audiobooks. And um and then finding another way to bring people in, that's what I thought I could do with this Kickstarter.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's an
very creative. I
experiment.
would never have thought of that in a million years.
Well, I mean, you two experiment with everything that you do, and why would I not do the same? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We have experimented a lot of things. Some work, some don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you've been doing blog posts to promote the Kickstarter, and I really have liked the ones on the myths about public speaking. In fact, when I've commented or reposted them, there's some good conversations that gotten kicked off. So Jana's favorite myth is picture your audience naked. Do you have a favorite myth that you like to go myth busting on?
Oh well, that one was a really big one. And I think the other one, I don't remember what I called it, but it was something like I have nothing to say or I have
Yeah.
to be an extrovert. And I think that what people fail to see is that so I am a big time extrovert. Janet is not, right?
I no, no,
I think
not
more than I
anymore.
am, though.
Maybe when I was younger, not anymore.
Yeah, and Lisa, I often think of you as um able to hold the audience even if you're not comfortable with it, right? You do that, Janet, also.
Hmm.
And you might have to go back to the room and crash for a little while. But one thing both of you do, you always speak from your expertise. And that means you have enthusiasm about your expertise and you always tell stories. So,
Hmm.
because you start with your expertise and because you tell stories from your experience, and then you exhibit your enthusiasm the way you do, it's authentic to you. That's one of the reasons it does not matter if you're an introvert or an extrovert. And that's why fiction writers can talk also, because it's all about your expertise. And if you start from your expertise, yeah, you're all set.
Everybody has a story.
At least
It's just
one.
it's just finding that story. And
Right.
quite
Right.
often I find that when I'm talking with people and they say that to me, I have nothing to share. Like I'll point out something that they've already said and I say, that's unique. That's a story, right? And sometimes it's just showing them what it is that they've got to say. And they'll go, I guess it is. And then, what's the next step? Is something different. But yeah. All right. So let's deviate a little bit from your latest book. As we mentioned along the way, you've written fiction as well as technical, which I'm in awe about, by the way. So what do you find is the biggest difference and which do you prefer?
So I don't have a preference except for whatever story or book I'm working on at the time, right? This is like asking which of your children is your favorite. Oh, when they're irritating me, yeah, when they're irritating me, the other one is my favorite.
Yeah.
But it's really my favorite is the one I'm working on. And um I find that the more I write, period, the more I can write. Right. So um, if if I told if I told the stories I want to in my nonfiction, nobody would believe it. Because I mean, you have been in organizations and have consulted for many years. You also see things in organizations that you say, how are people possibly working like this? So
Yeah.
I have to tone it down for my nonfiction books, but I can go off the rails in my fiction and really enjoy that because everyone says, "Oh, it's just fiction. Nobody could ever be like this." Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very, very
totally
cool.
get that.
Yeah.
Janet, have we got time for another one more question?
I believe we have time for one more question. I'm the
Okay.
timekeeper.
All
It's
right. So, Johanna, I've been a longtime fan of your both your regular blog and your create an adaptable life blog, which has also been around a while, not since 2002 or the other one, but and I find that the adaptable life ones apply, at least for me, professionally as well as in my personal life. How do you decide what to talk about on which blog? Or maybe you don't care that much. They're all relevant.
Well, I am much more personal on my Create an Adaptable Life blog. Um, I should have I should have just made it a category on jrothman.com and then everything would be there because actually my Create an Adaptable Life blog is really about personal agility
Hmm.
and how you make yourself more adaptable and resilient. And sometimes I talk about that in terms of the organization. I try to keep a much more personal level there. But I find that if if I can tell a story about my family or something that's really personal, that really belongs there. And if I want to tell a story about a client or an organization or something really wacko, like what is the 996, the work 9 days, what 6 days, nine, whatever it is, right? Every generation has new numbers, and I'm now officially old, and I don't know the numbers. So, but this business of working overtime is just ridiculous. So I am working on a post for that because we learned that back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and I mean, how many more times do we have to learn that? So I will be writing something about that. But today, well, at the day we record this, I'm going to finally finish my product leadership series, which is there was no such thing as a single ringable neck. I mean,
Yeah.
how that ever got started is just nuts. And how can we deal with the fact that we do not have enough product leaders? Now, the personal side of that is none of us has any ability to do everything by ourselves, right? We need our little communities. My friends over here, there was one conference where Janet and I were leaving Norway? Were we in?
Yeah, it was going into Malmo, I think, from Copenhagen,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
right?
And yeah, and I was not yet diagnosed. I did not have the right meds for my vertigo, all that stuff. And you actually just took my suitcase and then said, "You are down a quart," which meant water. And I'm going to take over for you. So yeah, I mean, we all need a little help from our friends, and that's a personal side. And then the community for product leadership is on the professional side. So do I,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how I do it. I write and I see what I have.
I highly recommend following both those blogs.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sure. And the links will be on the
YouTube page.
transcripts, yeah, on the
Yeah.
YouTube channel. All right, so we're going to wrap up now. Thank you, Johanna. We appreciate it. It was so good talking with you again. And Lisa's going to
Oh,
share our
I'm gonna share the
contact
screen if I can
information.
find the button.
And thank you. This has been really, really fun.
All right. So you can find Lisa and I and on our books and the courses that we wrote. So please contact us. And on the next slide is our contact information. So if you have any questions or anything else, please don't hesitate to ask us. And until next time, see you all.
Thank you so much, Johanna, for joining us.
Thank
Yes.
you. This was fun.
See y'all next time.
Bye-bye.